Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Pastimes Prabhu. So we start with Radha Madhava and then carry on with the discourse. Is it an photo or? Yes, normal?
There's a little echo.
Hare Bol? Hare Krishna?
No,
Hare Krishna? Okay, as long as everybody's okay, comfortable, you can hear. Alright, that's fine. Let's just go with that. Jai Rama Rama Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON founder Acharya, BBT founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vranda ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda ki jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Radha Krishna Milit Tanu Vipralamb Vigrah Shri Gaur Sundar ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय, गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, श्री श्याम कुंड श्री राधा कुंड की जय, श्री श्री राधा शिवचूर गोपीनाथ की जय, श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ श्री बलदेव श्रीमती सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ रथयात्रा की जय, भक्ति विघ्न विनाशकारी नृसिंहदेव की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Padaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Paschatya Desha Tarine. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Agyanti Virandhasya Gyananjan Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Sopadantikam Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Tapata Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanshcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutaya Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Hare Krishna. So thank you once again for giving me an opportunity to serve you. Today I was asked to speak about Lord Jagannath, specifically his pastimes and the lessons learned, and mention a little bit about Jagannath rathyatra. So do we have a date for rathyatra? What's the date? Next Saturday. Oh wow, okay. All right. So I'm going to start with a question that I'm asking you to answer. And that is hopefully very simple. Who is Lord Jagannath? Is he an incarnation of Krishna, or is he Krishna himself? Krishna himself, absolutely right. And we all know the pastime, how he manifested as Lord Jagannath. So I'm not going to get into the details of that pastime, except to say that as Mother Rohini was narrating the childhood pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra were listening to it from outside the hall where they were speaking. And as they listened to their own pastime, they started remembering their friends, their parents, and especially Radharani and the pastimes Krishna had with her. In hearing and remembering those pastimes, Krishna started to miss Radharani very much and was feeling the ecstasy of missing Radharani. This is a hard concept to understand for us, but in the spiritual world, this ecstasy of separation is higher and more intense than the ecstasy of meeting. And in Balaram and Subhadra were just so fascinated by all these stories, they started to feel the same ecstasy. So as a result of feeling that ecstasy, the first thing that happened was their eyes became very wide. As you can see, the deities of Krishna, Balaram, Subhadra, their eyes became very wide. And something that really can't understand, their limbs went inside their body. So you see the hands have disappeared. Actually for Subhadra, even the arms have disappeared. Right? And the legs disappeared, they all went inside the body. It's all because of the ecstasy they are feeling. So you can say that Jagannath manifestation is Krishna missing Radharani and feeling that ecstasy of separation. Now, let's jump over to Lord Chaitanya. Who's Lord Chaitanya? Anybody? Krishna in the mood of Radharani, Radha and Krishna combined form is Lord Chaitanya. But the mood of Radharani here is she's intensely missing Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya is Radha missing Krishna and feeling that ecstasy. Now imagine rathyatra happening. I'll come back to why we have rathyatra, but just come back to Jagannath Puri. Rathyatra is happening. Lord Jagannath is on the chariot. Lord Chaitanya gets in front of that chariot and starts to dance. Now, who is Lord Chaitanya looking at? Krishna in what mood? Krishna missing Radharani. Lord Jagannath is looking at Lord Chaitanya. Who is that? Radharani missing Krishna. So now imagine Krishna missing Radharani is looking at Radharani missing him. Can you imagine the ecstasy of that? That ecstasy is represented in Rathyatra. So when we attend Rathyatra, we should remember that particular pastime of Lord Chaitanya looking at Lord Jagannath, Jagannath looking at Lord Chaitanya and feeling that ecstasy. And pray that maybe 0.0001% of that ecstasy can come in out. So this is why it's so important to attend Rathyatra. Also, the Skanda Puran says that simply by looking at Lord Jagannath on that chariot eliminates the sins of millions of lifetimes. And touching the chariot, touching the rope has the same effect. So that's one point. Second point, I'm going to come back again for the reason for Rathyatra. There are multiple reasons, but I don't think I have time today to do all of them. But I'm going to talk about one of them. Everyone heard the name of this place called Kurukshetra? What happened there? Mahabharata. But something even more important that happened there. So this is after the battle of Mahabharata. I went back to Dwarka and all that. And they decided that they're going to perform Shraddha ceremonies and other ceremonies because so many people had been killed. So all the friends, relatives, the whole clan of Krishna came from Dwarka to Kurukshetra. And it had been almost 100 years since Krishna had seen Radharani. So remember, how many years did Krishna spend in Vrindavan? Any guesses? Yeah, almost. 10 years, 7 months. Very good. Then he went to Mathura. How many years in Mathura? Small part. About 17 years. About 17 years. So he was almost 28 years old when he went to Dwarka. Now the battle of Kurukshetra happened, was almost 85, 90 years old. Right? Then some years after that he came to Kurukshetra. So it had been almost, not quite, but almost 100 years since they had seen each other. So now Radharani and the gopis go to Kurukshetra. They're eagerly waiting to see Krishna. And Krishna is equally as eager to see Radharani and the gopis and everybody else. And they meet. And you think that they'll be very happy. But were they? Radharani, Sakhis, Lalita Sakhis, Shasak said, who are you? He said, what do you mean I'm Krishna? He said, not my Krishna. He says, what do you mean? And they said, my Krishna does not wear a crown. He has a turban with a peacock feather. He does not wear royal clothes. He has dhoti and sometimes the upper class does not. And he got these fancy shoes. My Krishna never wore shoes. And you wear these necklaces, the gold jewelry. My Krishna never did this. Only the garland, Vajanti Mala, which is the garland of the wild flowers. So, sorry, you're not my Krishna. He said, no, I am. Sorry, no, you're not. And somehow it didn't click. So the gopis and Radharani said, we have to take you back to Vrindavan, and then spend time with you behind the bushes and the kunjas and Yamuna river and Radha Kund and Sham Kund and all those things. We have to be together. We cannot do that here. So come with us to Vrindavan. Because I'm sorry, I cannot do that. I got all these people here with me, and they say, well, you got all these horses and elephants. There's no horse and elephant in Vrindavan, not with Krishna anyway. So get rid of all them. He said, I cannot do that. So, okay, that's fine. So in their heart, in the chariot of their heart, they put Krishna and they're dragging him to Vrindavan. That journey is, my dear devotees, from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan, in the heart of the gopis, is rathyatra. So that is one of the reasons we celebrate rathyatra. And so, again, encouraging you to make sure you attend the rathyatra when it happens in whatever next week. Anyway, so when we pull the chariot in the rathyatra, where are we taking Krishna? Symbolically. To Vrindavan. From Kurukshetra to Vrindavan. Now there are other stories where it says from Dwarka to Vrindavan. Either way, destination is Vrindavan. Now is Krishna eager to get to Vrindavan, or is he saying, whenever I get there? What do you think? He's eager, very eager. So when you pull the chariot, you're saying to Krishna, I want to help you get to Vrindavan faster. So do you think Krishna appreciates that? Very much. He gets absolutely thrilled. He says, my devotees come here, helping me get to Vrindavan so I can meet Radharani faster than otherwise I would. So special blessings are given by Lord Jagannath to those who pull the chariot. So make sure everybody get a chance to pull that chariot. Okay? Is it making sense? I'm not making this up, really. Believe it or not, I'm not. Okay? So, I can get to some of the other characteristics of Krishna as Lord Jagannath. So, we said the eyes are round and big. What's the reason for that? Krishna and we normally see straight, and Krishna is known for his sidelong glances, right? But as Jagannath, he's looking with round eyes everywhere, up and down, sideways, everywhere, right? Because with the round eyes he can do that. Now, the eyelids, do you know if it's eyelids or not? No eyelids. So what happens? You blink and you miss it. And that's a major complaint by the gopis. If you're familiar with Gopi Geet, what did they say? That foolish creator Brahma, right? That foolish creator Brahma, he gave us eyelids. Why do we need eyelids? But Krishna is in front of us. We blink, and for that moment we do not see Krishna. How foolish is that? I mean, he's so foolish. He gave Indra how many eyes? Anybody knows? 1,000 eyes. Yes. And he can't see with them. And you can see that eyes he gave us only 2. And when Krishna is not there, our eyes open and we don't see Krishna and say, what is this? So either way, he's made big mistake. So Jagannath is saying, I'm not going to let Brahma make that mistake because I decide my own. So no eyelids, which means whatever time my devotee comes, I can see. And by the way, in Jagannath temple, do you know how many hours is open? The hours is open? Well, it's open, yes, but for 2 hours they do close. But for those 2 hours, we are not allowed, but guess who visits them? The demigods. So for those 2 hours, the demigods are visiting and they have their interaction. So, Jagannath does not sleep. 24/7 is busy. Now, there was a king in the Jagannath, whole again very long story about how he helped Lord Jagannath manifest himself. So he asked for a boon, Prabhu Jagannath. He said, I want you to eat all the time. So as soon as an offering is made, you finish enjoying your bhoga, you wash your hands, but before the hands are dry, you should start eating again. So remember in those days, there were no what's the manufacturer name of the hand dryer? It is anyway, this very Dyson. There was no Dyson those days, right? So it wasn't quick drying, and even the towels, if you see the old Indian towels, they are very good at drying, right? It takes time. So by the time you finish drying your hands, this will be the next offering. So in Jagannath temple, 56 bhoga offerings are made every day. So same reason. And there is a story that some time ago means maybe 500 years ago, there was a temple of Radha and Krishna known as Radha, which was on the way from the kitchen in the Jagannath Puri temple to the altar of Lord Jagannath. So I don't know if you know, how many people have been to Jagannath Puri temple? One? Okay, so few of you. So you know that there's a big kitchen there. And there's 250 stoves on which bhoga is cooked. And there's special people who have the responsibility for cooking and an assistant and all that. Anyway, so when the bhoga is finished, they carry the bhoga in a yoke. Everyone knows what a yoke is? Like a stick and two things hanging on sides. And then you put the pots there and you carry it. Or some people carry the pot on the shoulder and the walk. But they walk by the temple of Radha before they go to Jagannath Puri. Now, Lord Jagannath is known for having many interactions with the head pujari of the temple, over the years. So one day Lord Jagannath came to the dream of the head pujari and said, remove the deities of Radha. So he said, like shocked, what is this? Krishna telling to move Krishna away. So he said, my dear Lord, I don't understand why. He said, the problem is that you take the bhoga and you walk by the deities of Radha and they eat it all up. There's nothing left for me. By the time you get to me, it's gone. So we are hungry. So move them. So they actually moved those deities from the Jagannath temple. There's not there anymore. And they've gone to what used to be Tapan Mishra's house in Jagannath. Not very far, but outside the temple. Anyway, so Lord Jagannath likes to eat. Okay. One other thing I want to talk about Jagannath Puri, and then we'll talk about the pastimes. So, what is the mood in Vrindavan? Which mellow is the predominant? Madhurya, right? Madhurya. Which mood is predominant in Dwaraka? Aishwarya, opulence. Which mood is prominent in Navadvip? Audarya, real mercy, like no offenses are taken. Whatever you do is forgiven, and Lord Chaitanya is so merciful, he just accepts you. So, Audarya in Navadvip, Madhurya in Vrindavan, and Aishwarya in Dwaraka. In Jagannath Puri, you have all three. In the temple is Aishwarya Bhav, right? In Gundicha temple, which is the destination for rathyatra, that's Vrindavan. So, Madhurya is. Then Gambhira temple, where Lord Chaitanya stayed, is Audarya, because all one. Right? So all three mellows are present in the Jagannath Puri. So that makes it very, very special place. So if you have not gone there, please make some arrangements so you can visit that place. It's an amazing place. Okay. So let's talk about some of the pastimes. By the way, how much time do I have?
1 till 3:10.
Okay. All right. Thank you. By that clock?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes the clocks are not saying that. Oh, okay, I thought another 15 minutes. Okay. So there was a devotee of Lord Ram whose name was Raghudas. So Raghunath, that's Lord Ram. So Raghudas. And he was a very, very sincere, dedicated devotee of Lord Ram. And somebody suggested he should go to Lord Jagannath temple there. And he wasn't sure we should do that, but somebody insisted, so he went there, and he actually saw Sita Ram Lakshmana as opposed to Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. And he says, convinced that not different, Krishna and Lord Ram are not different, Jagannath is Krishna, therefore not different. So then he started going there. One day he made a garland, beautiful garland, and he offered it to the pujari to put it on the neck of Lord Jagannath. And the pujari refused. And he said, why? He said, there's a bark of banana tree that is used as a string. And we don't do that here. Therefore, we cannot accept your garland. So he was very sad. He went home and was just crying. Just crying. And the Lord came it was time to dress at night. So they were trying to put some flowers on the body of Jagannath. But none of the flowers would stay there. As soon as put it there, it would fall down. They tried for half an hour, 45 minutes, not a single flower would stay. So the puzzle is what happened. So some of this must have happened. Anyway, same thing. So whenever something like this happened, the head pujari will go to sleep and then wait for the Lord to appear and tell him what happened. Sure enough, the Lord came to his dream and said, you are a rascal. My devotee came with a garland for me. He made it so much love. And he rejected it for some formality. So I'm not happy with you. I'm not accepting any flowers. Go to him and bring that garland. So that's right now, right then, they went to the house of Raghu and they saw him lying down, crying with the garland beside him. Just crying and crying and crying. So they went there and said, please forgive us. The Lord has asked for that garland. So gave the garland and they put it on Jagannath. Prabhu Seva started from that point. Now, the Lord liked this Raghu so much that he developed a friendly attitude to him. So Raghu was now serving Lord Jagannath in Sakhyaras, the friendship mellow. And they would actually play together. Lord Jagannath would go there as a boy and they play together. And one time Raghu got very sick, like so sick he couldn't move from his bed. And so he would go to the washroom and all that, it was all in bed. He couldn't move at all. So the Lord said, same boy, said coming and cleaning him up every day, multiple times a day. So one day Raghu said, my dear Lord, you are Lord, Supreme Personality of God, and Lord Jagannath, why are you doing this? He said, there's nothing higher for me than serving my devotee. And then he said, but my dear Lord, just let me die. And then there's no problem, right? He said, no. If I let you die right away, then all the fructified. All the fructified karmas will still be with you and you will have to come back. So this is why I'm letting you live. So all the fructified karmas are finished and then you don't have to come back. So with that feeling I'm serving. Imagine. Then what happened was, one day, the Lord said, I feel like eating kathal. Kathal is jackfruit. Right? So I said, my dear Lord, no problem, I'll take one for you. He said, no. Let's go to the garden of the king and we steal one from there. He said, my dear Lord, the king knows me very well. All I have to do is tell him, my Lord wants one kathal. He said, you 100. He said, no, you don't understand. Does everybody understand Hindi? जो मजा चुरा के खाने में है, वो मांग के खाने में. The enjoyment I get from stealing is not comparable to asking. He said, you don't know what, I've been doing this for a long time. So he said, okay. But he still wasn't very sure that he should be doing this. But the Lord said, no, come with me. So they go to the garden. And there's a fence there, so jump over. And he said, look, there are many trees there. The Lord looks at one of them and says, that one has that kathal that looks really good. So Raghu, you climb up and you pick that and you throw it and I'll catch it. Now Raghu is really suspicious. He says, you're very tricky, so I'm not sure I really trust you. He said, no, don't worry, I'll tell you, just go. So he climbs up, finds that jackfruit. He says, okay, I'm going to throw and ready to catch. Jagannath says, yes, throw it. I'm here, standing right here catching it. So he throws it. As he throws it, there's no Lord there anymore. It disappears. So the jackfruit falls on that ground and bursts into a million pieces and there's a big thud sound. So the security guard comes running, somebody has entered king's garden. He comes and doesn't see anybody there. He says, what's going on? And then suddenly he looks up and there's Raghu sitting there on top of the tree. Everybody knew Raghu in those days. So, my dear sir, what are you doing there? And he said, you don't understand. So he said, I have to go and tell the king. So he goes, tells the king. King says, Raghu cannot do that, come on. He said, no, my dear lord, he's doing it. He's talking to the king. We have to see it. So king with his entourage comes to the garden, comes and looks up. Sure enough, Raghu is sitting there. So king says, please come down. So he comes down and says, what happened? If you wanted a kadal, ask for one, I'll give you 100, what's the problem? And he told the whole story. I said, Lord Jagannath insisted that I do that. When I threw the kadal, he just disappeared. So they all had a big laugh. I said, and the king said, okay, from now on, every day I will send 100 jackfruits. So in the season, even today, 100 jackfruit is sent to Lord Jagannath to enjoy as poor. So that's his pastime. It's basically showing his friendly mood and his service mood to the devotees. Then there was another devotee by the name of, actually his name was Arjun Mishra, but he was constantly, all the time, reading Bhagavad Gita. So they used to call him Gita Panda. So Panda is like Pandit, right? You know Pandas? Oh, they're dangerous people. But this one wasn't. And so, he was very poor, he didn't do any job, so very, very poor. And so every once in a while he'll go beg for some alms, whatever he got, 2 children, he'll feed his family. So, but one time there was a rainy season, and so he didn't go for a few days, and there was no food left in the house. So the wife went to him, when he was sitting reading his Bhagavad Gita, and said, children are hungry, so go do something. He was reading Bhagavad Gita. He opened chapter 9, text 22. Anybody remember that? Yes. Ananyas chintantoma ye jana paripaste tesham iti avyuktana yukshema bahamya. Those who would remember me all the time, to them I carry what they lack and provide what they don't have. So every time she said, he just showed that verses, don't worry, Krishna will take care. So one day went by hungry, 2 days went by hungry, 3rd day she went back and said, no, this is not working. You have to do something. And he showed this again. She was so angry, she took a pen and scratched those 2 lines, the verse, on Bhagavad Gita itself, and went down, really angry. Just a few days later, there was a knock on the door. He opened it, and there were 2 beautiful boys, standing there carrying sacks on their back. Excuse me. And they said, the friend of Gita Panda has sent these foodstuffs for you to cook. She was very happy. They brought it in, and it literally filled the whole room. She said, why don't you stay? And I'll cook for you also. Have some prasada before you go. The one was dark boy, one was white boy. The dark boy said, no, I can't eat, mother, because my tongue has been cut in 3 places. He said, oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. They left. She went upstairs to tell the husband that, have food. Told the whole story. He said, oh, did you tell them to stay and have some prasad? She said, I did, but the dark boy said his tongue has been cut in 3 places, and therefore he can't eat. So he said, you know what? Guess who they were? They were Jagannath and Balram. So right away they decided to go to the temple. So they went to the temple. In those days you could go all the way to the altar. Even I have been there, but now it's not possible. In those days it was possible. They went there. What did she notice? 3 red dots on the lips of Jagannath. So actually scratching the verse had cut the lips and the tongue of the Lord. There's another pastime about this woman. She was pregnant on due any day, basically. She was working in the field. She saw a whole bunch of people running. So she asked, what are they? Why are you running? Where are you going? And this is rathyatra time. So we try to make sure that we get to Jagannath Puri before Rathyatra day. She heard that, she said, I'm coming with you. Now they due any day, doesn't have time to tell the family or that, she just joins them. Starts running. One day later, the baby is coming out. So he goes behind a bush, delivers the baby, leaves the baby there, says, Lord Jagannath, you please take care of the baby. And she goes with them. Goes there, at the Rathyatra, 5 days later comes back. As she's coming back, she says, maybe I should see the baby still there. She goes behind the bush. She notices there's some kind of a queen, a woman dressed up as a queen, is feeding her baby, breastfeeding her baby. So she says, wait a minute, my baby is now in the care of a queen. I have nothing. So why don't you just leave? So at least my baby will be, well taken care of. She turns around and starts walking. Suddenly she hears a voice, stop, stop, stop. She said, I don't want to stop because if I stop, the police will take your baby. She is walking. And she hears, Durga, stop, I want you to stop now. So you heard her name. She said, oh, how does the queen know my name? Turn around, guess what? Jagannath standing there, the baby. So this is like Lord Jagannath taking care of a devotee who is so keen to go see him and attend the Rathyatra. There was another devotee, her name was Karmabai. She was so much in the Vatsalya Rasa, the motherly mood. She wouldn't bother with any taking bath or anything like that. She would get up and cook khichdi for the Lord. And the Lord will come. And so no bath, no mantras, no tantras, no mudras, no particular designated plates and all that. Whatever plate there was, she'd give it to him, he'd eat it, and then he'd go back to the altar. Every day it was happening. One day there was a Brahmin visiting. He saw this, and he went like this. What are you doing, Karmabai? What is this? It's so offensive. You not realize that you're not supposed to feed the Lord like that? You're not taking a bath here. You're not clean clothes. You just go to the washroom and you cook and you're feeding him in the same clothes. This is very offensive. Don't do that. She said, what should I do? He said, go to the whole process. Take bath and clean clothes and all that, and chant this mantra and that mantra and do this mudra and that mudra and all that. And then you offer respectfully. Not feeding him on your hand. Said, okay, what do I know? So next day she did that. Back to time. So the Lord was late getting back to the altar. In the meantime, it's Mangal Aarti time. So the Pujaris were there, there's no Lord. So that's what happened. Anyway, so the Lord showed up and they said, what happened? He said, this is what happened. So the Pujaris were a little worried and the Lord gave the suggestion that go back to Karmabai and tell her that she doesn't have to worry about this. I will eat her khichdi every day. So as long as she lived, she did the same thing back to the old routine. And then there was khichdi served to the Lord every day after that, every morning. So that's one thing that was being offered, kathal and khichdi. Now, there was another devotee who was selling pan. Does it know what pan is? The bitterness, right? So again, in those days at least, they were not very rich people, but he would make pan. So Lord Krishna and Balaram, actually what happened was there was another devotee who used to chant in front of the synagogue. There's an iron gate in the temple. And then he noticed that every night after midnight, 2 boys will come out. One white, one black, and they'll walk to this house. And they'll stay there for a few minutes and they'll come back. Every day after midnight. So he got curious, so he went to the house. He said, who are these boys coming and what are they doing here? So this man was very honest. He said, Krishna and Balaram, they come. And they asked me for pan, so I give them pan and they go back. He said, how much do you charge them? You charge them? No, I don't charge them anything. He said, no, you should charge money. They are very rich. So charge them some money. He said, okay. So next night when the Lord came, he said, here's your pan. And as they started leaving, he said, money. You know? And I said, what is money? And he said, no, you have to give some money. He said, we don't have any money. So he said, why can't I let you go and just give you some money? So they took out the chadar and gave it to him, and they said, you keep this, and someday somebody will come and give you money, then you return the chadar. He said, okay, you put the chadar. Next morning the pujari went for Mangalarti. No chadar. So now they say somebody stole the chadar. So the whole town is now looking for chadar. So this man heard that everybody's looking for chadar. So he said, no, it's me. So in those days, these kind of incidents were reported to the king directly, like immediate. So the king was told somebody had stolen the chadar. So he came. And when he came, he said, yeah, this is chadar and this is the whole story. They said, okay. Return the chadar, but from now on, your pan will be offered to the Lord every morning. So kathal, khichdi and pan offered to the Lord every day because of the devotees doing that. How many of us have heard Gita Govinda? Yeah? Yes. By Jagannath. So the Lord loved listening to Gita Govinda. And so one day, Jagannath decided that he's going to weave the whole Gita Govinda on a cloth. So he invited two weavers who were very famous to come and weave the lyrics. They said, we'll only weave as you sing it. So no singing, no weaving. That's fine. So he started singing and they started weaving. That's a very slow process. So somehow Jagannath fell asleep. So he fell asleep, no singing, they stopped weaving. So very soon after that, an old Brahmin came. And he said, why did you stop? And the weaver said, because he stopped singing. The Brahmin said, don't worry, I'll sing and you weave. So he started singing, they started weaving again. And an hour or two later, the Brahmin left and Jayadev woke up. And he said, so where did you stop? So they told him, no, but that's not where I stopped. He said, no, I know when you were asleep. And you were, I'm sorry, the Brahmin said, I am Jayadev's older brother. So I know this. So your older brother came and he started singing something. And Jayadev said, I have no brother, I have definitely got an older brother. And nobody except me and my wife Padmavati knows Gita Govinda. So how can anyone do that? And the conclusion was that the Lord must have done. So he did that. Then there was another little girl. She had memorized, this sometime later, she had memorized the Gita Govinda. And she had a beautiful melodious voice. So she'd go in the morning to pluck flowers for her deities. And as she was doing that, she'd chant Gita Govinda. So the Lord heard that and he got so mesmerized, he ran from the altar. And he went to where she was singing, stood there singing, and he came back. This started happening every day. And then it would start getting late every day for Mangalarti. So I said, where are you going? He said, no, don't worry about it. One day it got really late, so he ran, and his chadar got caught in the thorns of the rose bushes. So a piece of it was cut, but he came back running anyway. So now the pujaris noticed that there's a piece of his cloth chadar missing. So then they said, my Lord, tell us what's going on. So the Lord said, go to that garden. So they went there, sure they found the cloth. And they understood that the Lord comes to hear the singing of this little girl. So they said, okay, from now on, every day you come and sing for the Lord. So then she was coming there and singing for the Lord every day. Talking about no process, everyone knows Ramanujacharya. He was the head of Shi Sampradaya. And so the Shi Sampradaya is very formal because Ashwarya Bhava. Right? So very formal process for everything. So Ramanujacharya, when his disciples came, he knows there's no process in Jagannath Puri. That is serve when they can, when they want to, they offer him every 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. And there's no particular mantras, there's no particular tantras, no mudras. Everything is informal. He got very upset. He said, no, you cannot do that. This Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, you have to be formal and do it properly. He went and complained to the king. And convinced the king that what the pujaris were doing was the wrong method of doing it. So the king came to the pujaris and said, hey, Ramanujacharya is saying that you're doing it all wrong. So you better do it the way he's saying it. And that tomorrow, he will show how to do this. So tomorrow you do not do the service, you watch Ramanujacharya do the service, and then you start following that process. Now the pujaris were really upset. Really upset. They've been doing it for years. Now it's a different mood, right? So they went to sleep, very upset. And then in the morning, everybody got up. Now pujaris are really very upset. They're going to have to watch. And started to wait for Ramanujacharya. So the disciples of Ramanujacharya are there, all these pujaris are there, there's no Ramanujacharya. And they wait an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, there's no Ramanujacharya. 4 hours, no Ramanujacharya. So the king said, well, forget it, now go ahead and do whichever you were doing it, and we'll see what happened to Ramanujacharya. What happened was that Ramanujacharya was sleeping in his bed, and the Lord picked up the bed and Ramanujacharya in it, and sent him all the way to what's known as Kurukshetra in South India. Far away from the other places. No, you don't go back there. I like the way it's being done. So don't change anything. So, and the Lord is looking for, that's what we say. What's the Lord looking for? Love in your heart. Right? When we offer bhoga to the Lord, it's not the quantity, it's not even the quality, it's not the variety. I mean, who can cook better than Radharani, right? So no matter how good we are, and it's being served by Sahasra, which is 100,000 gopis, which are the Lakshmis all the time. So we cannot even imagine cooking anywhere close to the same quality. So the Lord is not caring for what we are offering in the plates. What does He care for? What we are offering in our heart. What is our mood? So our mood should be, first of all, Tadiyam vastu govindam tuphyameva samarpaya. Like, this is yours. I don't have anything of mine. You gave me some money, I bought this. You gave me the skills to cook it. I'm offering it to you, this is yours. But I'm offering, the only thing I've added is my love for you. So if there's no love added, He doesn't care. It doesn't matter. And this is why this very famous Bible says, Duryodhan ko bhog na khayo, Lukha sa Buduri na khayo. There are different versions of the same thing, right? Yeah, so Duryodhan had invited him for lunch. You can imagine a king's lunch. He left that and went to Buduri's house. And what was he fed in Buduri's house? What did his wife give him? Banana peels. And he was eating it and relishing it. Vidura noticed that and he said to his wife, what are you doing? And she said, no, don't stop her. This is the best food I've had in 2 million years. What happened 2 million years ago? What happened 2 million years before this Leela? Yes, Ram eating the half-eaten berries from Shabri. Why? That's where the love was. Now Lakshmi was trying to stop him. I said, no. It's really delicious. So Krishna is saying, 2 million years gap, enough. I won't eat this. So the point is, Lord Krishna, Lord Jagannath, whichever form he is in, they are appreciating the love behind whatever we are doing, as opposed to what we are offering. So I think there's 5 minutes left, so I'm going to stop and see if there are any questions, comments, realizations, corrections, anything is allowed. So, continue.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for taking us to Jagannath Puri and also sharing the mood of the devotees who are worshipping the Lord. Prabhu, one question that I have specifically for using this pastimes as a way of justifying one's laziness. How should we not get carried away with that?
Well, so first of all, if you think you're at that level where your heart is full of love for Krishna, you don't know anything but Krishna, you can't think of anything but Krishna. If all the time is all about Krishna, then do whatever you want. But it's not there, then I got a process for you. Okay, so the process is all in the, it's called Pancharatra Vidhi, and actually ISKCON is something called Orange Book. It describes the process of and as a matter of fact, I think it's today, there's a DT worship seminar going on in ISKCON Toronto. I think it's today. Anyway, so yeah, so we should all take that course to know the right process, and we have to use the process because bhakti we are doing is not prema bhakti. What's the name of the bhakti we are doing? Sadhana bhakti. Even in sadhana bhakti, there's two parts. Vaidhi. So what we are doing? We are doing Vaidhi bhakti. What does Vaidhi mean? Rules and regulations. Yeah. Process, rules and regulations. So those become more important. So now why is the process more important? Why the rules and regulations more important than if you're doing prema bhakti? Because we are lazy. If we didn't put the process, we'll all take the cash from our pocket and say, okay, Krishna, you eat it, I don't have time for it. Right? That is why. So, because we are lazy, we're not allowed to be lazy, so the process is given to us. You follow this process to make progress to the point you don't have to follow the process. So, to follow the process, you get to a point where you don't have to follow the process. That's the rule. Okay? Did I answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu, you did. Thank you very much.
Sure. Anyone else has comments, questions, realizations?
The chadar that they give, they still put on Jagannath at the night time.
The chadar?
Yes, to this day.
That's wow, that's amazing.
I heard it.
Okay. Thank you. Did anyone hear what I said? Okay. So no comments, no questions? Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Where can we read all these pastimes?
So there are different books on Lord Jagannath's pastimes. You can just internet, you can find it. Also, there are many devotees who have given classes on Jagannath pastimes. Many. And some of them are from there. I didn't make up any of this. I just heard or read. Okay. But yeah, it's all available. It's all available. Yeah. And I did only a few of this. So many more. If Prabhu had given me 4 hours, I would have taken it. This will keep it working. Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for this wonderful pastimes of Jagannath. So, one of the best ways we could reciprocate when we hear such wonderful pastimes is actually inquiring, and that is how we are going to be able to have something to carry with us. This is the price that we have to pay is of attention and the time that we have. So the respect is paid by asking questions. So it's nice if you all can, even if it is a very basic question, it is always good to take advantage of a senior devotee in form of, inquiry. That is how we learn. As we know, Bhagavad Gita has a verse that specifically says, right? Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So the seva can be provided not just monetarily, but also if it is done through pranipat and also pariprashnena. So questions and answers. That's how the whole Bhagavad Gita has come about for us to learn. So if anyone would like to still ask questions, we'll take the opportunity. Prabhu has stood up from the Vyasasana, but still, if anyone would like to.
So Prabhu, my question is that
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. So my question is that how does somebody develop that kind of love for Krishna? Like, does it happen? Like, is it a set process that if you're doing Vaidhi sadhana, but after, like, I don't think anything, but I'm just asking that, Like, when does that happen?
It's a very good question. So it's basically knowing, so how do we get to the point where we have that love in our heart for Krishna? And so, yeah, Mataji, the whole process given, actually there's a very wonderful verse in Nectar of Devotion. It says, Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadhusang, Ata Bhajanakriya, Syat Arthanivritti, goes on to, Shraddha and Rati and Bhav and Prema. There's 9 stages. So basically it starts with Shraddha. But how do you get Shraddha? Is faith. How do you get Shraddha? Shraddha you get by serving the devotees. Knowingly or unknowingly. So let me give you an example. Knowingly you can understand, but unknowingly we give an example. Let's say you go to India and you plant a mango tree somewhere and you come back to Canada. Now it takes about 5 to 7 years for mango tree to grow up and start giving the fruits. And you may have forgotten that you planted it. And one day a devotee is walking by, it's the hot month of June, and he's very hot and thirsty and hungry and sits down on the mango tree. The same mango tree that you planted. And he looks up at his juicy mangoes, he eats maybe 1 or 2. He's on his way. You have no idea something like that happened. But you got that credit for serving that devotee. That's called Agyat Sukriti. So, Gyat Sukriti is known, you did something, or unknown, that you don't even know. But they result in Shraddha. Shraddha is what makes you come to the temple or interested in activities of Krishna the Lord. And then, if you are willing and if you are sincere, then Krishna will make arrangements for devotee association. You'll meet somebody who will give you a book. You'll meet somebody who will say, hey, chant Hare Krishna with me, and anything like that. Somehow you get that association. And that association that brings you in contact with more devotees, come to the temple, and you start involved in bhajana kriya, which is, bhajan is the 9 processes of devotional service, any or all of them. And then it takes from there. And then Arthanivritti is there, you have all this anartha. Everyone knows what anarthas are? Give me an example of anartha. Pride, yeah. Envy, anger, all these anarthas. And so they start to disappear. And then your faith becomes stronger. It's called nishtha. It's stronger. And it goes from there to bhava, which is preliminary stage to prayer. My point is, if you stick with the process of serving the devotees, associating with them, and continue to participate in the bhajan kriya, which is the chanting and serving the temple and all those kind of things, you will make progress all the way to prema. But the main thing is that you're sincere and you have the greed to progress, the greed to serve, okay, and that you don't give up. So actually, there's a very wonderful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. Brahma is offering the prayers. It says, if you stay with it, you will go back home to God. So it's like we are all on a train towards Krishna. And all we have to do is stay on the train, don't get off. It will stop on many stations. There are many people coming, Jagaram, Chanazurgaram, and all this kind of things. Don't get off the train. You stay on the train, one day you will get there where what you're talking about is love of Krishna. There's no separate process. It's just the process we've been following in ISKCON. Guaranteed it will get you there. Prabhupada said, if you simply chant and follow the 4 regulative principles, you'll get there. But what's implied there is that sincerity is there, the mood to serve is there, and sincerity is there, you'll get there, guaranteed.
Thank you, Prabhu. So you mentioned about the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, there is Vaidhi and Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, correct? So, and to to go there, like to follow the Raga Noga Stana Bhakti, you have to be in contact with someone who is already there. Right? Just like, when we listen to, like the same message is given by like n number of people, right? But then you listen to someone and then you feel that no, like those emotions come to you, like not from everyone, right? So is it necessary to be in contact of a Raga Noga Bhakt to get those emotions, to get, I'm not sure how to articulate it, but...
So it's a gradual process, but the point is, how will you know how to do something unless somebody shows you? So like, what's the reason for Lord Chaitanya's appearance? Krishna said, I came, I showed the world what is this Brajabhav, the mood of the residents of Vrindavan when they serve me. He said, I've shown them. So they know, but I didn't show them how to do it. And the example is given a teacher or a mother teaching a little child to write A, B, C, D. They write on the board, they will say it, but that's not the same as you hold their hand. Say, write A, B, C. Lord Chaitanya came to do that. So Krishna said, I'll come as a devotee and show people how to do that. Right? So my point is that you need somebody to show you how to do that. Unless they're already there, how can they show you? Right? So yes, it is necessary, but we don't have to worry about it. That's Krishna's problem. Right? If he sees you're sincere, the desire is there, he will make arrangements to have somebody show up in your life who will be already there. Okay? So I don't worry about how am I going to get there. I worry about, am I doing what I'm doing in the right mood? And that's what we all, and that's in our control, by the way. Not many things are in our control. But how we serve is in our control. What mood we have is in our control. So don't worry about what's not in your control, worry about what we have. So it was in our control. And again, Krishna guarantees it, Prabhupada guaranteed it, Shastras guaranteed it, that it will happen. Just stick with it. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for wonderful. So you shared many stories which dealt with different members. So I just wanted to ask, can we also know, can we, what mood should we serve in while serving Krishna, and can we think of Krishna as a friend, or because you talked of friendship, Vatsalya and all of those rasas, but what should we be doing?
That's a very good question. So there's a very famous expression that is follow in the footsteps of, not imitate. So this is like a lot of times if you are, I know you don't watch TV, but those who watch TV, they show some stunt or something on the TV and they say, do not try it at home. Right? Has anybody seen that? Basically, you don't have the expertise. Right? So if you try that, you'll get hurt. So Mother Yashoda, for example, she chased Krishna and tied him with a rope. Well, don't try that. Okay? Sometimes I've had people come to me and said, last night Krishna was not behaving, I chastised him. I'm sorry, Mataji, it's not a good thing. Right? So that's not ours. So, if we want to develop Vatsalya mood, the motherly mood, what do? You can follow in the footsteps of Mother Yashoda. So make her your favorite devotee and start serving her. If you're fortunate enough to find somebody live today who is very advanced, start serving her. Right? That's the only way, because you cannot do what they are doing. But you can serve those who are doing it. And that should be our motto. And whatever, 5 mellows, whichever mellow you are in or want to be in, Start serving a devotee in that manner, living or non-living. Okay? So, how do you remember Mother Yashoda, for example? She's not here anymore. How do you serve her? How do you serve Mother Yashoda? Yeah, remembering her. Listen to those pastimes. Trying to appreciate the mood she was in. And then, it takes a while because not everything is there in one book. Bhagavatam certainly, because he had only 7 days, very few things. But there are other Puranas. And there are other books in the support of the Puranas. They talk about many, many pastimes. So find out, read them, relish them, try to develop that mood, and just being thankful to Mother Yashoda for what she showed us. That's how we develop it. But it's best to focus on what we are. Who are we? We're the servants of the servant of Krishna. Right? So develop that mood. How do I serve the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna? Because that's who we are. Jiva Swarupa, Krishna is with us, right? So we are the eternal servants. Don't try to be anything else. Even Mother Yashoda was serving Krishna. When Radharani is the highest serving Krishna. So everybody is serving Krishna. There may be other modes involved. But service always there. We are entitled at our stage only to be a servant. Let's try to be a good servant. Let's try to be a good servant of the servant of the servant. Krishna will take care of the rest of it. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. And sorry to inconvenience you.